I've been thinking a lot about music lately and just the way that it can put you into a totally different mindset and just the way it carries emotion, music. Like in movies we see this so incredibly, the sad song in the sad scene or the happy song or the uplifting song or the workout song for the montage. It's like these songs somehow perfectly fit an emotional narrative. And I know, like, I've heard these songs. I know it. I feel it. I feel the workout music. I feel the calming music. I understand that it influences our emotion. But how do you explain how a random arrangement of sounds influences our emotional state? Like, there's no mathematical formula like, oh, if you add these three notes along with these three notes, then it's sad. But these three notes and these three is happy. Like, I don't know that there's uniform rules that make a song happy or sad or country or workout music or whatever, but it seems so random and impossible to mathematically describe. Like, I get it, music is more of an art. It's not easy to mathematically describe, but still, I believe that there's reason for everything. There has to be a reason why certain notes sound more happy while certain notes sound more sad. And what that's kind of brought me to is that our instincts, our brains have evolved for millions of years, right? And because of that, our brains do a lot of things unconsciously that we don't understand. So think about it like this, right? The songs are just arrangements of sounds, right? And so throughout history, humans have heard sounds in nature, and there are likely sounds in nature that we have learned to be afraid of, and there are sounds in nature that we've learned are happy sounds, like maybe birds, bird noises. Because for example, bird noises could mean, oh, it's a chill area. There's no predators or hawks or anything. These birds are just happy to be here, and that seems like a good thing. We can hear these sounds, and we can routinely become uplifted, become happy from these sounds because we associate them with safety or a good place to be. Now, so let's say there's bird sounds that are happy like that, and then there could be, like, this is a harsh example, but like rattlesnake sounds. Like, you hear a rattlesnake noise, and instinctively, not even instinctive, yeah, well, I guess instinctively in your brain, the deepest parts of your brain that you can't even consciously uncover, you hear the rattlesnake noise, and you feel fear, you feel anxiety, unhappiness, and that's because your body's trying to tell you this sound is associated with danger. See, so that's how I could see just natural sounds giving us emotions, right? Birds and snakes. But then how do you carry that over into the explanation of musical notes on guitars or violins affecting our emotion? It's it's really insane to think about. And I think a lot of people will probably watch me like, this guy doesn't understand that music will make you happy or sad. Like, what an idiot. Like, yes, I understand that music will make you happy or sad, all right? Like, it's it's an incredible thing. I've got happy playlists, I've got sad playlists, I've got workout playlists, I've got classical music playlists. Like, that's not really my point, is that I'm trying to understand them. My point is that how could you possibly explain it? How do you explain how the certain notes create different emotions than other notes? Like, well, like I said, it could be instinctual, like deep rooted in our brains to react to certain frequencies of sounds in different ways. I It's the most probable thing I can think of, but I, you know, I feel like this is something that most people in the world do not understand, or they don't fully understand it. Obviously, again, I understand that music can make you happy or sad, but how do you explain how it does that with just an arrangement of notes? Like, you can have two songs that are exactly the same, switch up like 5 to 10 notes out of 50, and now the emotional state you're in just totally changes during the song, or at least changes slightly. I mean, imagine at one point we could fully map the brain and like a piano to like put we can put each key on the piano into a distinctive, like, tone measuring. So, like, this note right here makes you very happy, while this one only makes you a little bit happy, and this one makes you a little sad, this one very sad. Like, imagine if we could map, but it wouldn't be possible because individual notes, I can't imagine them having that kind of emotional control over us. But maybe somehow, like, in the sum of all compositions made with this note, it tends to bleed more negatively, or more like a sad song or a slow song. And this note right here has been used in more upbeat songs. Like, I would truly love to see some kind of visual data about music notes and how they're used emotionally and so on. Like, imagine if you could look at a piano and they were just color coded. Like, the red ones tend to be the most angry notes, the blue ones tend to be the most happy notes, the green ones the most this note. Like, even if some keys had to have multiple colors, or, oh, that would just be the coolest thing to see, like, visually. Like, somehow you could maybe connect all the notes together in your brain and see how they influence each other. But I really don't know if I believe that it's because of our instinctual reactions to certain sounds, like I talked about the rattlesnake and the bird noises. I don't know if it's an instinctual primitive reaction to sounds, to frequencies of sounds that mimic frequencies of sounds in nature, or if it's just random, or if it's just somehow another inexplainable phenomenon that makes these arrangements of musical notes have emotions and put us into different emotional states. But you know what it can also be is familiarity, right? So if you always drink a cup of coffee before you cry, let's say this is a weird example, but let's say you always drink a cup of coffee before you cry, then I think every time you drink a cup of coffee, you will start to get sad, or you will start to go towards that state because your body is used to it. And that same thing kind of happens with music. If we always listen to the same song before we work out, that song is going to start getting us pumped up. So maybe it could have something to do with historically how we've listened to music, and historically how people have led others to believe to listen to music and how it should affect them. That is so insane to think about. But then, if you think about it like that, you would think that some people hear this song and think happy, and some people hear this song and think sad, which might happen for, some more neutral songs. But in a lot of cases, like the song Happy by Pharrell Williams, like, not only are the lyrics happy, but the just arrangement of notes, the sound of the song. Like, if you didn't have lyrics, you would say, like, all right, this is an uplifting song. And then there are songs that are the opposite. It's incredible, but, I get it. There are songs that are happy and there are songs that are sad, but can we really fully understand how all the arrangements of notes come together to make happiness or sadness your emotional state when you listen to a song? See, I think people often act like they have everything fully understood, fully figured out. And then when you hear them talk, you kind of learn, all right, well, they don't have everything fully figured out. Nobody does. Nobody has it all figured out. Everyone just wants to believe they have it all figured out. And it's kind of what I'm saying here is, like, yes, I understand that music can make you, like I feel like someone might see this video and say, like, oh, of course music can make you happy or sad or hyped up. Like, this guy's an idiot. Like, I'm not trying to, like, convince anyone of that. I'm stating the truth there, and I'm going further with it. I think a lot of times people don't understand the points I'm trying to make because they're so odd that most people don't understand the things that I want to talk about because other humans don't talk to them like that. I feel like that would make the most sense. Like, I don't do small talk. I talk about crazy things like how arrangements of music notes can give us emotional states. These are the things I like to talk about. And most people are like, bro, like, chill out. Like, relax, man. And I get that too, sometimes you don't want to be mentally stimulated all the time. You got to rest sometimes, but it's cool to think about that stuff, I think. And the more you think, oh, thinking about that stuff is hard work, it's not fun, the more your belief is going to shape reality. If you think that thinking about those things is fun and mentally stimulating and you enjoy it, then I think you will enjoy it. So back to belief shaping reality to finish the video. That makes sense. All right. Well, leave a comment if you have any studies or anything that could help me relate these music notes, or just leave a comment or like or whatever if you want to say something, give me some criticism, whatever. It's been a minute since I've done one of these, but I like doing these. Helps me organize my thoughts and stuff. Pretty cool. And it made me realize, like, I've thought before about how, the rattlesnakes and birds analogy, that the frequencies of the sounds could primitively set off fight or flight, or, we're in a good, this frequency is associated with a good situation, this frequency with a bad situation. Over millions of years, our brains have evolved to do that. I don't even remember where I was going with that. Oh, yeah, so, like, from talking about all this, I realized that it could be that, but it could also be like our societal upbringing and how we've been programmed to react to certain music and certain sounds and stuff like that. So it's interesting to think about, and I really haven't dived into like research on this like very much, so I'm just kind of talking, but I don't think anyone really fully understands this. And if someone does, leave a comment, call me stupid, tell me where to look to figure this stuff out.